Welcome to the Dr. Anne Marie Evers Show. The doctor is in the house. Do 2 affirmations and call me in the morning. Change your life one new thought at a time. Make your dreams come true. Attract that lasting, loving relationship, successful career, radiant health, and abundant wealth. Tune in to the Dr. Anne Marie Evers Show and learn positive ways to get what you want on www.contacttalkradio.com.
And welcome to the Dr. Anne Marie Evers Show, where dreams really can and do come true. And I really mean that, folks. I'm not just saying that. I really, really mean that. And so many dreams that we have come true. However, we have to do some work sometimes to make them come true. We have to decide what we want, and then we have to write it out. And this is one of the things we're going to be talking about today. And I want to welcome you all here and welcome to the home of angels, angel letters, affirmations, forgiveness, thoughts, mind power, and creative visualization, and much, much more. And today, due to popular demand, we're really explaining about affirmations and how you can do it. So please get a pen and paper and just jot down some things as we talk. And I'll try not to talk too fast. And before we do that, before we start, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome my guest, Christine Enerson, to the show. And Christine is a dear personal friend and assistant in many ways. Thank you publicly, Christine, for all the things you do to make the affirmation programs be seen and heard all around the globe. And that's what we're all about. Welcome to the show, Christine.
Oh, thank you. That was a wonderful welcome. I appreciate that.
Oh, well, it's heartfelt, that's for sure. And I just really want to say about Cameron, he's such a wonderful guy, too. And I always feel uplifted when I talk to him. Don't you feel like that, too, Chris?
Yeah, he is.
Yes, he is a wonderful guy. And his wife, Divinity, and the boys are just great. So I'm really happy to have them in my life. So anyway, now we want to start talking about we're going to talk about the 5 W's of affirmations. So, Chris, what we teach in the classes that we do, we always have the blackboard up and we say what. So, folks, just visualize you've got a blackboard in your mind or have a piece of paper and put the 5 W's of affirmations. This is what this is called. The first one we want to talk about is what. Just what is an affirmation? I know there may be some people that are just wondering, wondering if what they're all about or something. Maybe hasn't heard about them because some people, haven't maybe studied the positive thinking in that. However, affirmations really, truly work. And I remember one time a few years ago, I was walking up the street and I saw 5 men sitting outside drinking coffee. It was a few years ago. So I had a notebook and I said, "Excuse me, gentlemen, but I would like to ask some questions. I'm doing a story on affirmation. I'm doing a story and I'd like your opinion." So I said, "What is an affirmation? What do you think it is?" And the one guy scratched his head and he says, "I don't know. I think it's something legal." And I said, "Oh, okay, legal, you're right." And then it could be. And then I said, "What's the other one?" I asked. He said, "Same as him." So that was it. That was 2. So then the third one said, "Well, I think it's when you get married." And I said, "Well, sort of. You could do an affirmation for that." And then the fourth one says, "No, it's not. It's when you become a Canadian citizen." And then the other one says, "I don't know. It's something legal. That's all I know." So it was interesting to get what they thought, Chris. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my goodness.
Yeah, but they all had a different thought. So when I told them, and you've heard me say so many times, countless times, and I'm sure the listeners who listen to the program regularly have heard me say, affirmations, when properly done, always work. They do, but sometimes not in our time frame or as we think they should. So we say, what? What is an affirmation? Well, an affirmation is similar to a prayer, wish, or goal, only we make it more structured and specific. And really to affirm is to make firm. And simply put, the basis of all affirmations is positive thinking. And that is so true. And we can have what we want by just using affirmations and using them at the times that is the right time to do it. So now affirmations, you're very familiar with them too, aren't you, Chris?
I am, and I'm working with them every weekend. Because every weekend, I don't know if you look at your internet, but
yes, I do.
You go into your email, I send out what we call weekend affirmations, and there's two of them that go out. One goes out on the Saturday, and another one goes out on the Sunday. And it talks about the master affirmation, which is the main one that you're talking about. The one that's just come out on Saturday is for attracting money. So you say I, and then you put your name in. Deserve and now have a great abundance of money in my life. I pay all my bills and have money left over for all things I wish to purchase and do. Money flows to me in avenues of abundance to the good of all parties concerned. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then, of course, you put in your, you sign it and you date it.
Yes.
And that's the main master affirmation. But you haven't finished there, because once you've done that, how many times should you be writing that one out?
Well, I usually do, I like to do it 3 times. But people, if they're short of time, if you spend time, the first step in doing anything is deciding what you want. You know that, Chris.
Sure.
You have to decide what you want. If you decided that you were going to talk about money, so that's the way. So you decide, and then once you decide, you do exactly what you said. You know, you sit down and you write it out. And we're going to show you exactly, folks, how to write it out. So I hope you're able to make notes here, because, this information, or I say this is magic with so many ways, I feel. And I know that word is tossed around, but I mean, when things happen, and even I'm amazed, and I say, how could that happen so quickly? You know, and it just gives me a thrill to know that affirmations, when properly done, always work.
Yeah, you were mentioning about, wasn't it your granddaughter who was having a problem at school?
Oh, yeah, my actually Darlene's Darlene's granddaughter, but she is my niece, I guess.
Oh, your niece, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, she was a little girl in grade 7, and she's smaller than the rest of them, and she's quite quiet. So the 3 girls were picking on her and making her life miserable. And she was coming home from school crying, and it was just awful. And my sister said, "Can you help her to get her so she's able to, handle things?" And so anyway, we crafted an affirmation. Darlene, her grandma, and I, and she just finished writing it out, and I think she wrote it out we wrote about 4:00, and I said, okay, let's say it together. So we said it together and made sure that we both agreed that we were doing this to help her, and then we asked our niece, Kim, to become involved too, and she did, and it was just great. You know what? Darlene says she couldn't believe it. It was only about 4 hours after we did it that the whole thing changed. One of the mothers stepped in, and she said, this is not happening, and she had a meeting set up, and I just get shivers. Everything worked out so good. So now things are going real smooth. And imagine, that was just in a matter of hours.
That's
and this
wonderful.
had been going on for about 4 months, and she was just, beside herself and come home every day crying. That's not nice to be going to school and coming home every day crying.
No.
And so that works. So it's very powerful information we're sharing today, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah. Well, let me go back to this other one.
Yeah. Now,
because we had master affirmation. Now, this is for attracting money.
Uh-huh.
So I said all that big spiel that you say I, and you put your name in and say you deserve, and now have, or now am, whatever the problem would be. And then you say thank you, thank you, thank you at the end of it. Then you sign it and date it, so that you've made a contract with the universe.
Yes.
And then beyond that, there's also a short form affirmation. And the short form affirmation is something like, I deserve and now am abundantly wealthy, or I have enough to pay my bills, or something like that, right?
Yes, that's right, yes. Well, that's a really good handle on. One thing I would add, Chris, is to the affirmation folks, go back to that and say to the good of all parties concerned. And you could say to the good of all.
I've got that all in there on the one that I send out. And by the way, if anybody is interested in joining up, and there's absolutely no charge to this, I would add their name to the list, and then they would get an affirmation wherever they live, which is in Canada, the States, or Europe. I mean, it will go anywhere. An email goes anywhere, right?
Yes, it does.
And so they would send me, that's, my name is Christine Anderson, so it's the first initial, C, and then the surname, CEINARSON, at TELUS, TELUS.net. And say that they'd like to be included and give me their name and their email address, and that's all I need.
Yes,
and then I put them on the list.
Can you repeat it again just in case somebody's ink ran out or something?
Yeah, C for Christine, and no space, everything's lowercase, and then my surname, E as in everyone, E, I as in ink, N as in Norman, A as in apple, R as in Roger, and then SON, Anderson, at TELUS, TELUS.net.
Yeah, and even though you say, it is like it is a, what was I going to say? Yes, so that's the whole email address, correct?
Yeah, for me. And so they would send that to me and say, yes, please put me on the list. As I say, there's absolutely no charge, and we do this every weekend, don't we? So
yes, we do. And I just want to mention about Anderson. When you say Anderson, we would think of putting an A, but this one is a capital, not capital. This was an E, your surname, correct?
CEINARSON.
Yeah, right. Thank you for clearing that up. Now, and
actually, it's more than just that, because I put this out, and then we have a list of all your books, and people can go to Amazon for those. And then you also have monthly meetings, don't you?
Oh, yes, but yes, we do have, and everything is written down there, isn't it, as well?
Yeah. So we've got at Evergreen House, you go there at 11 o'clock, the last Friday of the month, and also you have an affirmation meeting the first
Tuesday. Let's do the people all over the world can get in with this. We have that Christine monitors and sets from her home is you're able to have the address for that, so that they can go in and then they can go from there. Now, what do you?
So that's a Zoom meeting.
Zoom, yes, thank you. And
if they would like to go to the Zoom meeting, again, just say I would like to be included, and that is the first Tuesday of the month.
Yes.
At 11 o'clock for 40 minutes via Zoom.
Yeah.
And just give me your name and email address, and I will include you into that too.
And we won't be bothering you and bombarding you with a whole bunch of stuff either. We just want you to enjoy affirmations, and there are affirmations on that page too, aren't there? And everything. There's an affirmation plus a letter from the coach too, isn't it? A note from the coach, right?
Yes, you got message from your affirmation life coach.
Yeah.
And then and on this particular one, attracting money, it says, congratulations, you're becoming a powerful money magnet.
I like that. I think that's good. I used to say...
And then you also have a GoFundMe, so that if anybody does it, you have your... the one for cancer, the 70 Ways to Cope with Chemo and Other Medical Treatments.
Now, that's a book I've written, and it's called 70 Ways to Cope with Chemo and or Other Medical Treatments, and I have forward is done by Bernie Siegel, which I'm really pleased. He was a very nice gentleman to work with. And the hospitals are using them, the social workers. I gift them the books, and now they are on Amazon as well. So anybody listening can go and order that. And also Affirmations Your Passport to Happiness. It's interesting because, Chris, you know, one of the gals I know, she suggested that Ray read my book, Affirmations Your Passport to Happiness, and he's really enjoying it, you know. And, you know, yeah, he says, how about this? And he takes it to bed and reads it for a half hour before. But it's kind of interesting because, you know, sometimes family, not him, but sometimes family members and outer family members, they think, oh, well, they know a person too well to listen to them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That takes someone else, yeah.
Well, so all these books are mentioned because you've got your Affirmations, Your Passport to Happiness, which was the first one that you ever did, and now I guess will probably be the last one you ever do because you just update it all the time, don't you? And then right now it's in the, what is the?
8th edition.
8th edition.
Yeah, 8. And that's, that's about it.
And then you've also got the 70 Ways to Cope, and then you've got Spark Words. Tell us a little bit about Spark Words.
Oh, they're kind of a short form affirmation, but it's a whole new thing. It's like spark words, like you take a index card and you write in the one corner, you print neatly or whatever, write one corner